You are about to ejaculate and you hold on to the muscles, and then what happens then? So there are two parts of that contraction. We will get to it. There will be a whole class on it later, but to give you an answer now, there is the pump, and the pump extracts the semen and the sperm from the testicles, from wherever it is, and it starts to shoot it out. And once it enters the urethra on the way out, that's it. There is the pump, and there is the pipe, the urethra. If you contract anywhere along that pipe, Ashvini, Mulabandha, Yoni Mudra, PC muscles, Kegel, whatever you contract, and you contract strong enough, you block the pipe. But the pump is still going. So the pump goes, enters the pipe, enters the pipe, enters the pipe, enters the pipe, you still contract, it goes in the bladder. A tiny bit of it will get reabsorbed in the body because there is something in the bladder that reabsorbs nutrients, but it's not a major part. So that's one kind of contraction, and it doesn't, people that do tantra like this, or that they put the fingers, if they don't, too lazy even to contract the muscles, you can put the fingers there, and then it comes out to the bladder. It's very, very, very small effect. It's good for not having the woman pregnant or something, yeah, that's very good, but it's not for anything else. Or it's very, very little for anything else. Now, the second kind of contraction is that you contract so strong that the pump cannot go, because the pump itself has contract and relax. And that contraction, indeed, you need to contract really hard. And you can't relax it. About 90 seconds. You can have it as a second homework if you want. It's good to train. If you still have this problem from time to time, or even frequently, if you can hold that muscle, isolate it well enough, yeah, not that you contract the whole body, but even if you contract the whole body, you still can hold on to the pump. And don't worry so much when you're holding on to the pump about all the other muscles, but particularly these muscles, they need to be very, very strong. I cannot tell you how much I practice on the strength of these muscles. Like 40 minutes a day for years. Really strong. And then when it's really strong, and you feel you can't do anything else, you can't think of anything else, you just hold on to that, your body shivers and so forth, and you feel the nerve impulse telling the pump to go, and you holding on to that pump, then indeed you don't ejaculate, but there is a certain energetic loss, but it's not so big. So if you can do that, again, this is not continence. This is not now every time you're about to ejaculate you do it. But this is an emergency mechanism. Okay, you save the day, like that. Should be used not as the main method, but from time to time. Of course, it's 100 times better than ejaculating. And that's just a mechanical training of the muscle. Every idiot can go to the gym today and come out an idiot with big muscles. Train that muscle. It's just a matter of training, and you need to train it. So you contract, and that contraction you call it 1, and then you contract 2, contract 3, contract 4, contract 5, 6, 7. Contract really strong, hold, 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 relax. And at least once or twice a day, you contract for a whole 2 minutes. Really strong, as if you are in that. And you don't, you're tempted when these things happen, you're tempted to check if it's still going. No. When there is doubt, Confucius, when there is doubt, there's no doubt. 90 seconds at least. Stay much longer, stay 3 minutes. You will feel when the impulse is completely, completely gone. Yeah, the reflex of ejaculation comes from the spine, very deep in the subconscious. It doesn't even come from the brain. It's a very basic function. And once it comes out, yeah, that's the thing. The point of non-return is when that part in the spine says ejaculate. And that's an impulse of about 90 seconds, but let's say 2 minutes to be on the safe side, okay? And as long as that impulse is there, if you contract the muscles very strong, very, very strong, then the pump cannot work, because the pump has this contract, relax, which is also very strong. And you need to be stronger than that, because it really wants to go, and you're like, no way. Yeah, is that clear? So that, yes, that's an emergency mechanism, and that will prevent, yeah, and in the first years of my practice, it would happen to me, and then that's what I would do. And sometimes I would succeed, sometimes not. And gradually, this was always succeeding, and gradually this also disappeared because it wasn't needed anymore. Yeah? And you will see, it creates also a lot of sublimation. Sometimes it's hard to regain your erection after such a long contraction. For some guys it's easy, for some guys not. But anyway, it's much better than ejaculating. So it's very good if you want to put it in your practice, in your continent practice. Take 10 minutes a day, contract really hard. And then in the end, so do it always so that you do a good relaxation. Otherwise you will stay very contracted and very tensed over there. So very profound relaxation in the end. And once you have that, at least with some weeks of training, maybe a month or two, you will have the muscle strong enough. It's a muscle, it's not. It works exactly like that. You contract it, it gets strong. And then once that muscle is strong and you have the training, how to do it, then at least you know you have an emergency mechanism and you don't need to ejaculate. You're still not, I don't know what, perfect continence, but at least you stopped ejaculating, which is already very good. What you saw now is an extract from a wide course of teaching men the tantric way of lovemaking, the tantric path of love. It's called Amorous, erotic continence. We have about 50 courses with different titles, and if you're interested, if that's something you want to know more of, you're welcome to send us an email and connect with us in this way.